should live a life of freedom in the wilderness where they belong. So today, we're gonna share with you some clips of animals tasting freedom for the very first time. 3 orphan Siberian tiger cubs were recaptured from poachers and finally released back into the Siberian wilderness. A cautious little penguin is released back at sea. At first, he hesitates, then turns around to say a final goodbye before wandering off to his new home. Over 1 million pigeons are recorded being released in Portugal. Now they're finally free to roam the skies once again. After months of rehabilitation, it's time for these seals to return to the wild for a second chance at life. And here's the touching moment where 12 rescued penguins were released back into the sea after being found malnourished and dehydrated. Thousands of birds are released out of either end of this truck and fly away towards the bright blue sky. Two rare white lions face being put down in the American Zoo where they were kept, but after a local radio station helped raise more than $10,000, the lions were sent home to their native South Africa instead. Watch these pigs walk on grass for the first time ever after being freed from a factory farm. They were freed after the farmer decided to give up the cruel practice of factory farming and become a vegan, surrendering all his animals to sanctuaries. Watch as these safari workers release 2 roe deer who happily dart back into the wild. The same guys also released several monkeys and even a hedgehog who was more than ready to live its life in true freedom. After 70 years of being extinct in the country, cheetahs step foot on Indian soil once again as the Prime Minister releases 8 Namibian cheetahs into Kuno National Park for the very first time. Just watch how the cheetahs curiously check out their new home. These 2 rescued pigs see grass for the first time after spending their whole lives in small enclosures. Now they can spend their last years in happiness on green pastures with more room than they know what to do with. This giant bird was released in the wild after spending most of its life in a zoo. But sadly, they quickly discovered that it had forgotten how to fly. This orphan Siberian tiger was left to fend for herself at only a few months old after her mother was likely killed by poachers. An animal welfare fund rescued and rehabilitated the stunning animal, one of only 400 still existing in the wild. Watch as this incredibly rare tiger is released and returned to its natural habitat. This rescued elephant seal who pauses and looks at his saviors, saying goodbye in his own way before being released back into the ocean.